What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So today we're covering one of my go-to methods for the new bounties in the current update, the mushroom bounties with Nightcap. These bounties have an actual special hidden feature that make them a lot more fun than I originally realized, but they're still not exactly meta. So we'll be talking about some of the issues with these bounties as well in this video, and how I would hope that DE would fix them in the future. Additionally, this is not exactly the meta way to do this, just a fun way to run these bounties, so yeah, keep that in mind. A lot of people have already done with these bounties as they've been in the game for a couple weeks at this point. Before we go into this stuff though, make sure to this channel, your daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, news videos, all that kind of stuff. You're the right place for Warframe content. We cover the new dev stream on Friday, and maybe even borrow in the morning, even though I'll probably be half awake. Alright, so as far as what my method is to make these Orb Valis bounties for the new update more fun, actually technically the Deep Mine bounties, it's actually going to involve the enemies that are spawning in these bounties. Now, they are called new enemies, called the Stropha Corpus, but we got an actual fun method to make it a little bit more loot enticing here. Now, for some reason, the enemies in these missions for the new bounties drop mods like crazy. And the enemies spawn really, really fast as well. We're talking like as soon as you kill a group of enemies, another group of enemies immediately replaces them. So, as far as my method to have more fun here, it's actually to go and bring loot frames to these bounties. So we're talking Khora, Nekros, mainly, and try to get as many mods as you possibly can. As far as my record for the most mods dropped in a single mission, we've been usually checking how many Pistol Gambit mods are dropping, because it seems like one of these enemies seems to drop Pistol Gambit quite often. Actually, in this mission alone that you're watching in the background, we got 80 copies of the Pistol Gambit mod to drop. That's a lot. Now, don't be too excited. Those mods only give you 5 endo per dissolve. But yeah, if you're running these Deep Mine bounties over and over again with Nekros and Khora, you can expect to get, thousands of extra endo, probably about like an extra 2,000-ish per run with the good RNG, because other mods drop en masse is what we're talking. Metal Fiber mod and Pistol Gambit are the ones that drop the most, and again, only 5 endo each, so not a ton. But yeah, as far as the way you can make these bounties more fun, for us, what we've been doing is we've been bringing one Nekros, usually at least one Nekros, and if you want to go really crazy with it, you can bring Khora or a second Nekros, and then maybe bring a Volt or like a Mirage, just nuke down enemies really, really fast with the Curious. The challenge is to get as many Pistol Gambit mods as you possibly can get, and as far as how you get that, you would definitely need to have like so many enemy kills. So yeah, bring the Icarius, we'll show builds for all this stuff. Bring the Icarius, bring Nekros, that kind of stuff. Nekros Desecrate ability gives you extra loot from dead enemies, but keep in mind, Nekros can only do so many enemy dead bodies at a time, so having a second Nekros would help desecrate even more enemies. So, as you can see in the background footage, there's Pistol Gambit mods dropping a lot, also Metal Fiber too. So in the end, you end up walking away from this usually with about 50 to 80 Pistol Gambit mods. And as far as hitting 100 Pistol Gambit mods, if you got 100 Pistol Gambit mods in one mission, that would be 500 extra endo from just that mod alone. So, now we talk about the method of making this more fun. Let's talk about some of the, we can talk about the problems with these bounties first. So, these bounties are kind of fun, kind of decent. They have the same tile set every time, so it gets a little bit repetitive. But one of the issues is actually the loot of these bounties in the end is really, really bad. So we're kind of having some fun with getting some extra mods here. But look at what I got at the end of this mission. I got 20k credits as my end of mission drop, okay? 20k credits for a Steel Path bounty designed in 2025. Like, pick these numbers in 2025, and it's also post-New War content. Post-New War, Steel Path bounties giving 20,000 credits in 2025. Why are we still having that? Why is this an acceptable thing for our high-level bounties in the current year, the most current update? I think it's out of control, honestly. If you look at the drop tables right here, too, when these bounties work, you get a guaranteed common, or you get a guaranteed uncommon drop and a guaranteed rare drop at the end. As you see as the drop tables here, a 20% chance for a 20k credit cache, and then a 5% chance for a 30k credit cache from the rare drop. So if you look at this, the arc gun adapter is lower drop rate than the credit cache, which I guess is not surprising because DE wants to sell this for plat. But I honestly think that DE should just remove the rare credit cache from this. It's just a 5% of the total drop rate. If you remove the 5% drop rate from the 30k credit cache for the rares, it would up the drop rate of everything else by like 0.8% or whatever. I just don't think that there's any reason. No one's farming, but first, no one is farming these bounties for credits. If they were farming these bounties for credits, they would not be getting enough credits to even notice it, because this is basically as much credits you get from like a normal capture mission of like the Void. So yeah, extremely terrible credit cash drop at the end. And I would highly recommend that you just, I mean, if you want to farm credits, there's going to be a double credit week at the end of the next month. So you would not farm this credits at all. And funny enough, I don't think the double credit weekend would even work on these credit caches anyway. So yeah, extremely improperly picked rewards for the bounty drops here. I hope that DE can someday not do credit caches in new content, but I would not be shocked at all, guys, if we have credit caches in the old piece, new bounties as well. So as long as we keep calling every time we say it, that's all we can really do. Like, it's very improper, because we're here for, you know, Arbuket parts, arcanes. If they made it a guaranteed arcane, endo, or a new part every run, I'd be running these bounties right now. But the thing is, I'm not going to run these when I get 20k credits. So yeah, you can make it more fun by running this. Let's go ahead and show some of the builds right now if you want to try and get my current record. I think it's like 86 pistol gambits in one bounty. So yeah, if you could beat 86 pistol gambits in one bounty, let me know. But yeah, we're going to talk about the builds right now, and you can kind of see what you can expect if you want to run loot frames like this. It is pretty fun, but it also is definitely not like the most meta speedrun strat. So as far as who I got equipped right now, I got Nekros equipped. Nekros Prime for that matter. And as far as the build, I got an Energized Munitions build on Nekros. So as far as what you want to rock on here, I've got a infinite bullet spam build where you basically activate Energized Munitions and then you can fire your Icarus rocket launcher pistols for quite a while. The main draw of this build, though, is going to be Desecrate. With this much range, we are going to get extra loot in a 66.2 meter radius. It's only 54% of the time, so having a second Nekros to desecrate more bodies, or a Khora to get even more loot, could be helpful to get all those pistol gambit mods. As far as the build, getting a kill with combat discipline will give us take some damage so we can proc Arcane Avenger. Despoil, removing health, does not proc Arcane Avenger. It's HP removal, not actually taking damage. So just go for a bunch of duration, a bunch of range. You're just there to give extra loot. And as far as your survivability comes in the form of Vazarin. Dash through yourself to make yourself invincible. It will also fully regenerate your health when you dash through yourself with Protective Sling, so you can keep spamming Icarus shots and keep draining HP from Despoil and Combat Discipline. As far as the rest of the weapons and build on here, we've got, as far as the shards, casting speed, duration, and equilibrium. The Aphentis is an extremely important weapon in the meta of Warframe 2025, and when Styanax Prime comes out next year, there should be an Aphentis Prime, but right now there's not. As far as what you want on the Aphentis, you just want to use the alt fire to make it where you get increased reload speed, fire, ammo max, other stuff, while you're using the Icarus. So you throw us down, get a kill in the bubble, and then the Icarus is buffed. Everything on there should be fire rate and reload, and that's basically it. For the Icarus, we're doing anti-corpus here, but I'm not going full anti-toxin. So yeah, gas electric is great. If you want to go full toxin, go ahead. But yeah, this build works great for just nuking down corpus in these missions really fast. Ammo issue is going to be alleviated by you having the Aphentis and also Energized Munitions. Now, if you're playing Nekros, the Ripkas does dismember enemies' bodies with the Amalgam Ripka's True Steel mod, and that will work on the Icarus kills too. So, more dead body parts means more loot for you potentially, so having a second Nekros to help you desecrate all these dead bodies could be quite helpful. But yeah, this weapon is not actually used to kill anything, it's just used there to give you more loot. And as far as the companion, you don't need the Chessa, but the Chessa is like a mini Nekros as well, so you can use Retrieve, which is like a mini Desecrate, and it will give you even more pistol gambit mods. For the claws, doesn't even matter, just equip stuff. You might want to have enough crit chance for Tenacious Bond, though. As far as Khora, remember Khora actually did get a buff where now you can use casting speed to whip claw faster, so that's kind of nice. I will probably have a Khora buff video in the future, but yeah, as of right now, I'm not really changing the Khora build too much. You can change your whip claw to be toxin to bypass enemy shields, but yeah, I just got a melee influence build on here still. I did try out Bright Bonnet on Khora. It is not very good. It requires a lot of strength to actually make it useful, and it's just not as good as Dispensary, Lycas Hunt, Nourish, etc., etc. So I like to run this. You could also run like a Nourish build if you want to instead. But yeah, the big thing here, guys, is you want to have the Pilfering Strangledom Augment mod and a lot of range. So enemies affected by your ulti are going to have a chance to drop extra loot, and our ulti has a lot of range, so you can place 2 of these down to give enemies more loot drop chance. Good luck beating those pistol gambit numbers. The rest of the weapons are the exact same thing as the Nekros. We got Aphentis, Acarius. Now, you could equip the Ripkas, but I got the Praetos equipped for more parkour velocity. But yeah, the Ripkas will actually let you dismember enemies with Khora as well, which will help. It will help Nekros, but it will not help you as Khora. So only equip the Ripkas if you have a Nekros in your team. Vazarin Focus Tree, Venari Cat. Let's see what Venari's got equipped. Venari Cat has that stuff equipped. And the Claws Venari are that. And the Whip Claw Prime is melee influence. Again, you could go with a Toxin build if you wanted to. I think it's this one. But it's not that big of a difference, honestly. I'd say just go for the influence build, just useful against everything. And as far as the companion here, got the Chesa Kubron. Now, you could bring Helios. Some of these guys, some of these bounties are really, really tanky. Might have a video cover on that soon. But yeah, Helios to skin some of the more rare enemies could be useful to you. And yeah, that's basically it for the video, guys. Now, as far as things I'd like DE to change for these bounties in the future, I do think that, honestly, just please just remove the credit cache. Just why we got credit caches and Steel Path new bounties in 2025. It makes me worried for the old piece content a little bit. But yeah, beyond that, like I don't know, like really, like the mushroom. We need a compost all button. I kind of wish there was more rooms in this tile set as well. But that's more nitpicking stuff. So, yeah, let me know if you guys like this strategy down in the comments down below. If you can watch it on stream, it can be kind of exciting. But it's really only for, like, having, like, a couple of teammates. Like, okay, it's also not the fastest speedrunner. Okay, I'm going to play Nekros this time. You play Khora. Let's see how many mods we can get to drop. It's not a ton of endo, but it does add up over time. Like, we're probably getting, like, an extra 2k endo per run, if that. Maybe more like 1.5. But yeah, it could add up over time, guys. So I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate your support. If you have any suggestions for how to improve the deep mine bounties, put it in the comments down below. And I'll see you next time. Peace.